In Part 2, we discussed Golioth's new reference design documentation and also explored the details of their innovative air quality monitor design. Today, we'll be continuing that journey and understand another reference design. Let's dive in.
One on the right here is another example of using the same Nordic NRF 9160 DK kind of baseboard, but we've swapped out the sensors. And so this one has a GNSS GPS sensor that will do precise location tracking. And then we also have a CAN interface click header that will connect to the OBD-II port in a vehicle. The idea with this reference design is that you can plug this into your car if you really wanted to, and into the OBD-II port, which is the diagnostic port on the car that you would normally hear like a mechanic say, I'm going to plug the computer into the car. That's
plug the computer
port that you would plug this into. And you'd be able to track the vehicle's speed and location pretty much out of the box. You install the firmware, you connect the device to Golioth, and then as soon as it turns on, it'll just sit there waiting to start reading out the vehicle speed. And we've created a Grafana dashboard that will it will basically show you the vehicle's location and speed over time as the device drives around with you in your car. So this guide that Chris is scrolling through here shows exactly how to assemble the hardware, how to flash the image. And then at the bottom of the guide where he's showing right now, there's some next steps about after you've connected the device, what are some other things that you can try with Golioth, things that you can try, the RPC capabilities or looking at the logging capabilities. We also have a set of command line tools. So everything that you can do in the Golioth console, you can also do from the command line with the Golioth CTL command. And then at the last step here, we go over how to actually build your own custom firmware image. So the pre-built binary that we have you install at the beginning of the design, at the end of this guide, we link to the GitHub README. And this has a detailed set of instructions about how to build the firmware for the follow-along hardware. There's really detailed instructions in here about how to set up the Zephyr environment and how to build the firmware, build the same firmware that we're shipping as the precompiled binary.
And that's really where I think, so if you were starting from the follow-along hardware, you wanted to just see it working, see some data, make sure it's something you want to keep exploring. At that point, then you're probably like, all right, I want to customize this. I want to make it, go have a different thing than vehicle speed. Maybe I want to do something different off the OBD-II port, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so if you wanted to, let's say, read out the vehicle's RPM or any of the other PIDs that are supported via the OBD protocol.
Right, or you could go and add other capabilities, different settings, all of the things that Golioth enables, then you're right into it and you already have some known working hardware. I always call it like a sanity check as well. And you can always go back to that binary and start back from the hardware there. And I just feel like that's a really useful thing. As someone who's booted up many reference designs in my career, having something that's like really well known and that I can then go and have a solid base to start from. This is a solid base to start from, and also application specific, actually multiple application specific ones because of all the different designs that we have here. We have many more. We have 2 out of 8 of our reference designs have follow-along guides. We'll be publishing more of those. Chris, you did a really good job with the follow-along guides, and I'm excited to have more of those. We also are always making more reference designs, and we want to hear from you, our wonderful users and viewers here. If you have an application you'd like us to target, if you have just a business problem that you need solved, if you need, if you want to view a new thing on the internet with a real world device out in the world, an IoT device, that is stuff that we do every single day. Like I mentioned, we have lots of flexibility because we've targeted these off-the-shelf platforms. We can integrate new sensors and boot up new ideas very, very quickly. And that's what we're great at here. And we want to make you great at it as well.